ฮัลโหลครับโอเคเดี๋ยวผมสลับหน้าจอแล้วสวัสดีครับคุณสุภกร
Mathematics is the foundation of all things. If you're interested, I can teach you some arithmetic.
มา
First,
วันนี้
hold
กับ
up both
Genshin
your
Impact
hands.
เนาะ
We'll start with the 10 fingers.
โอเคผมเดี๋ยวเราเล่นเนื้อเรื่องกันต่อนะครับคุณได้อัปเดตเกม Space Marine 2หรือยังอัปเดตแล้วครับคุณสุภกรผมเพิ่งปลดตัวของดาบเลื่อยกับตัวของอันนี้มาอ่าขวานมาแต่ขวานเนี่ยผมไม่รู้ว่ามันใช้ยังไงกำลังงงๆอยู่ว่ามันจะตีถอยหลังยังไงส่วนตัวของพลาสมากันแฮนด์กันเนี่ยพลาสมาแฮนด์กันเนี่ยอันเนี้ยผมยังไม่ได้ปลดเพราะว่าเอ่อแต้มไม่พอครับแต้มปลดได้พอแค่2อันก็เลยไม่ได้ปลดพลาสมาแฮนด์กันต่อเลย
Too slow.
Hey guy! Wait up!
We're here. Now we wait.
Okay, yeah, cool.
What's on your mind, Paimon?
Huh? Oh.
I thought all you cared about besides being a guide was food and sleep. Why the—
What's that supposed to mean? Paimon's been on plenty of dangerous missions before.
But never on your own. You hardly ever leave the traveler's side. Just saying. I'm kind of at loose ends right now. So if you did want to share, I suppose—
Hey guy? Do you—
What? Where's that coming from?
When we were in Notcry, Paimon suddenly realized something. Even though Paimon doesn't get like this very often. She just got really scared when the traveler got kidnapped that time. What if she never came back? What would Paimon do then? And the more Paimon thought about it, the more useless she felt. But Paimon doesn't want to be a burden. Paimon wants to be a friend who's... does that make any sense? You know, that feeling of just being completely useless and...
You asked the right person. Boy, do I know that feeling. I'm not gonna try and encourage you. What I will say is this. When you start, you have to make the decision to move forward. Otherwise, so ask yourself, what do you want? To get stronger? To learn more? Whatever it is, go do it. Something's not right. Shouldn't they— Paimon, is it just me?
Should Paimon take a look?
We'll give it another hour.
Okay. How strange. What is it? Did you think of something?
Something feels off about this. We know for sure that the guy Sinocot had something set up. Yet somehow his contact is a no-show. So, either the hand—
How would they know to do that? Wouldn't they at least send someone here to check things out?
แล้วเกม Warhammer 40K Dark Tide ตอนนี้กำลังลดราคาอยู่นะครับ เหลือ262 บาทมันเป็นเกมแนวไหนนะ ผมจำไม่ได้แล้ว ถ้าจำไม่ผิดคุณสุภกรก็แนะนำนะ หรือคนในแชทเนี่ยแหละครับ เป็นคนแนะนำผมมาเหมือนกัน ตัว Dark Tide
That's the problem. They couldn't possibly know what's happening here. This feels all too
สำหรับใครที่ดูเกนชินอยู่ผมจะบอกว่าวันนี้ถ้าเกิดเล่นไม่จบเนี่ยวันจันทร์ผมอาจจะไม่ไลฟ์ต่อนะครับน่าจะข้ามไปเล่น Warhammer เลยนะครับ
how grateful I am to each and every one of you. Thank you all for coming.
Shesipank and Bennu are currently assisting the scholars with the maintenance of Aru. Please forgive their absence. As for Hermanubis, may he rest in peace. We remember him with great fondness.
There have been times when I imagined what it might be like to meet you all. Time has taken many things away, but that which remains is all.
I must say, there is one. You appear to be in good spirits, Lesser Lord Kusanali. But even so.
Oh no! So even a Pep's power didn't work?
อ๋อเกมแนว Left 4 Dead เดี๋ยวว่ากันอีกทีนึงซื้อไม่ซื้อเดี๋ยวผมขอดูก่อนแล้วกันครับเพราะตอนนี้ที่ผมก็ยัง enjoy กับ 40K Space Marine 2 อยู่ก็เลยยังอาจจะยังไม่ได้มีแผนซื้อเกมใหม่หรืออะไรด้วยแหละครับกลัวเล่นหลายเกมไปแล้วเดี๋ยวมันไม่ทันด้วยขอโทษด้วยครับถ้าเกิดไม่ได้ซื้อนะถ้าเกิดไม่ได้ซื้อนะครับ
Don't worry, Paimon. It worked very well indeed. The issue is how closely I am tied to Irminsul. Until the problem with it is Sumeru has undergone tremendous changes during your absence. When gods pass away, I too have grown weaker due to the effects of Irminsul. Right now, we're all in quite a sorry state.
Okay.
Then what do you suggest?
We take all the help we can get. Sumeru is our shared home. You and I, gods and humans alike. We must.
Though Al-Ahmar is no longer with us, the alliance As subjects of our king, we have a responsibility to support Sumeru through this catastrophe. Not to mention that it was the people of Sumeru who released us from this prison of Aru. Times have changed.
You really know how to give a rousing speech, Koti.
Now then, let us learn more about your plan.
The brightest minds of the Sumeru Academia are busy opening and renovating.
Correct. Irminsul has existed in Teyvat since the very beginning. But during the Age of the Dragons, after the heavenly principles arrived, the power of the Light Realm was divided into elemental energy, and Irminsul was refashioned as a device that records and preserves all information. Since then, everything in this world has been inextricably linked to it. As the Dendro Archon, I have a duty to protect Irminsul. To Sumeru, it is both a national treasure and undeniably a major threat. Teyvat has seen many upheavals in the last few years. The most recent of these was a major crisis in Notcry, which forced Sumeru to be even more vigilant than usual.
เกม Dark Tide มันลดถึงวันที่ 4 เดือนหน้าโอเคครับเดี๋ยวเรื่องนี้ผมอาจจะไปคุยกับพี่หมีหรือฟีฟ่าอีกทีนึงว่าซื้อหรือไม่ซื้อเล่นหรือไม่เล่นเดี๋ยวยังไงว่าอีกทีนึงนะครับตรงนี้ผมไม่แน่ใจเหมือนกันว่าเพื่อนจะเล่นไหม
I made sure to monitor all the pathways through which an outsider could potentially transmit themselves into Irminsul. I still believe that someone has actively invaded Irminsul. But rather than taking any of the pathways I referred to, the intruder chose instead to utilize the most direct route, by entering Irminsul through death.
จริงๆถามว่าสนใจไหมก็สนใจนะถ้าเกิดซื้อดองไว้ก่อนเนี่ยแต่กลัวว่าซื้อดองมาแล้วเนี่ยมันจะดองยาวถ้าเกิดเพื่อนไม่เล่นผมกลัวตรงนี้แหละ
I see what you mean. You cannot simply stop all deceased souls from returning to the ley lines because of a potential invasion that could occur at any time.
That's right. As important as it is to guard against external threats, I couldn't allow myself to...
Please, understand how...
Defense has never been an easy task.
After Irminsul was invaded, my authority was quickly restricted.
I'm sure you feel responsible, but you are not to blame.
สวัสดีครับ
No
คุณ
one
อิ
can
สานุวัฒน์
predict every possible disaster. There will always be trials and tribulations for the world to endure.
But the people of Sumeru should not have to endure this. We must find a way to break through the lockdown and connect to Irminsul.
And this is why you need...
Yes. The only thing in Sumeru capable of rivaling Irminsul in terms of overall function and performance Is all I managed to do before falling into a coma was make some minor adjust. The scholar's initial plan was to borrow Aru's power to reboot the Akasha, then use the Akasha to connect. Unfortunately, Irminsul has suffered far. To rise to the challenge, we had to resort to more extreme and far costlier means. To reclaim Irminsul, her brightest scholars have made further modifications to Aru with multiple goals in mind. I thank you all for giving them your blessing in this endeavor.
Human wisdom has clearly improved over the millennia. You have not only our support, but that of the Jinn, the Aranara, and the Pari.
Together, we will do everything in our power to save Irminsul.
By the way, when you spoke earlier of an intruder, it almost sounded as if you knew who you were dealing with and what they were capable of.
Well,
อาเป๊ปเหรอ ไอ้เคียฉากเปิดเควสโคตรสปอยเลย
Master Tainori!
Is this... How did this happen?
Luckily, we managed to evacuate.
What in the world was...
Oh my. I understand. Not once over the millennia has.
Please continue, Dendro Archon.
Irminsul's root system is what comprises the ley lines. In the past, it has always been hidden away, going unseen by the general It has become a tree of unbridled greed. A clear sign that a deranged experiment has advanced to...
Blasphemy. From where I stand, an experiment in the name of blasphemy sounds rather improper. But if we are to honor Dottore's will, this is what...
The birth of this tree proves to me beyond doubt that this incident is connected to him. But to explain the situation in full...
Zandik. So it was him. I saw him in the desert once. A man of...
But didn't Dottore die and not cry? How is he still able to do... He must still have loyal followers amongst the Fatui. Even so, I'm still unclear as to...
I can confirm that Fatui forces have arrived in Sumeru City. Furthermore, Irminsul seems to be undergoing some kind of mutation. Evil branches are beginning to grow. Sorry, I couldn't think of any other word to describe it. They don't seem to be fully formed physical entities yet, after all.
A baleful tree climbing up into the heavens.
Speaking of Dottore, I have some information on that front as well. I didn't think it was wise to state this out in the open. But my theory is, the mole wasn't cut off after he was caught. They were...
You mean, the Fatui never intended to follow through with him?
It's hardly a conventional strategy, and the rationale behind it is pretty twisted. But as it happens, I know someone who works exactly this way. And when it comes down to it, he's been a collaborator of Dottore's from the outset. That fact alone confirms...
เฮ้ยแม่งเลย
There is still much to be done. Everyone, please remember our core strategy.
As per the discussions, the following groups must act immediately. Mr. Alhaitham and Mr. Kave, the next phase of the Aru renovation project must begin right away.
We'll give it everything.
The plan looks feasible, but the implementation will require...
General Mahamatra Sino and his team will help to procure the materials required for modifying the
No problem. I've already spoken with Sethos and Hat Guy, and they've agreed to us.
This kind of thing is best left to the fleet-footed, right?
If it's efficiency you're after, we're the right people for the job.
Following up on the elemental energy amplifier we discussed. Ms. Dory, I assume you're the one
Yep, that's right. Leave it to Lord Sangamabe.
Got it. Well, I'd like Madame Farazan, Kale, and Nicole to support Dory on the technical side.
You can count on us. Will do.
Rest assured, I'll take good care of...
Dia, Candace, and Nefer, you'll be in charge of negotiating between the various parties. I trust you remember our goal.
You bet. We can handle it.
Good. I believe that covers everything. Tainari will provide ad hoc support as needed.
Poor Tainari. Must be tough being Nephis' student. Getting
Hey, don't try and drive a wedge between us, you old rascal.
All it says to me is that Master Nephis has faith in everyone's abilities. While I'm nominally here as backup, I doubt there will be many...
Exactly.
Finally, Traveler, you and I will head to the border between Sumeru and Natlan. Once that task is complete, I'll be asking some of you to accompany me to the Eternal Oasis. The Eternal Oasis? I thought that...
Regarding your trip to Natlan, under normal circumstances, a meeting between our two nations would be a far more formal affair. So regretfully, we won't be able to give the Pyro Archon Mawika the grand reception that she deserves.
No point putting too much pressure.
Right. Especially you.
Don't worry about me. Plus, we'll be there. Yes. I believe in... well...
คือยังไงจะซิ่งโมไซค์ไปหามาวิก้า
To what extent we can implement the final plan depends on how successfully the Akasha can be modified and configured. And to make sure that...
Yeah, no surprise.
Once we roll this out, any Sumeru citizens who already have Akasha... This still leaves us with a significant equipment shortage, though. Many groups of people were never issued Akasha terminals, including mercenaries, the desert folk.
We'll need a supply of rare materials for the renovation of Aru and the production of new terminals. Right now, the best place to source these locally is from the primal constructs within King Deshret's mausoleum. Time is not on our side here. It's gonna be a race against the clock.
The Aru merge and renovation project will have to be carried out by you two. Everything's riding on this, so failure is not an option. Best of luck to you both. As discussed, General Mahamatra Sino and Mr. Hat Guy will source the required material. Mr. Sethos is quite familiar with the layout of King Deshret's mausoleum. With him...
I have every confidence. In the meantime, we may as...
Makes sense. There's not much we can do.
Get information and stay close.
What is this, boot camp?
It's just Sino being Sino.
Everyone clear on our mission objective. Look at the excess primal constructs.
And King Deshret's 7 pillars agreed?
If they're just sitting there doing nothing, we might as well put them to use.
อ๋อเล่นเป็นไดโนโอเคไอ3ตัวนี้มันคอมโบกันยังไงวะเนี่ยเดี๋ยวก่อน ไดโนมันควรจะเล่นกับไม้นะโอ้เช็ค
Judgment is upon you. Guilty. The penance is...
Excuse me. Move to Al Akbar.
Behold. Nowhere to run.
me.
สงสัยเหมือนกันว่าไอ้3ตัวนี้มันคอมโบกันยังไงเนี่ยโอ้ thank you ไม่ออกมาให้เร็วกว่านี้ละหนุ่ม
Too slow.
แต่น้องออกมาก็ดีแล้วครับ
Behold. Know your place.
Your sins weigh upon your soul.
Guilty.
เอ้า
Way ahead of you. Squall and fury. Excuse me. Move or be moved. Surrender. Wind rises. You dare to gaze upon me?
จะตายนะเนี่ยทำเป็นเล่นเอ้าเองตายยาก
Empty space.
These devices should still be usable even though they're broken down. Let's take them back for the others to review.
จะตายเอา เอ๊ะมีน้องมาทำกับข้าวให้อยู่ เอ๊ะก็ว่าอยู่ทำไมไม่เก็บ
Behold. Surrender. Through me, justice is served. Your penance is due. You stand condemned. Your penance is due. Guilty. Excuse me. Quit following me.
How many do we need again?
Enough to make an Akasha terminal for everyone who doesn't own one.
I remember you telling me how revolutionary these Akasha terminals were.
The Academia declared the Akasha to be the most powerful and comprehensive wisdom dissemination.
Certainly sounds impressive.
Neither Hat Guy nor I have ever had an Akasha.
Well, if it all goes to plan.
Oh, goody! Thank you so much for handling the delivery. What a long way it was. I'm well aware what a bumpy, dangerous journey it must have been. Now, I would have loved to oversee the process myself, but of course, those of us who know the plan can't leave the mausoleum.
Oh, trust me, I'm patting myself on the back for my assembly work here. But will you really be needing all of this?
According to our plan, yes, this is the quantity required. I have no complaints about the quality either.
I heard you covered a lot of the funding out of your...
Oh, that's an exaggeration. Of course, the real tragedy is how little profit I'm making on this.
It's really quite a beautiful design. And I'm intrigued by how such a...
Did you attend the lecture on Light Realm Energy, Madame Farzan?
Of course I attended. I was just a little late, so I had to listen to the whole thing from outside the back door. Anyway, I have a perfectly good understanding of Light Realm, Elemental, and Abyssal energy, as well as the relationship between the three.
Good to know. Master told me in private that the conversion process between Light Realm energy and Elemental energy involves highly classified knowledge that shouldn't be disseminated too widely.
Well, you can't enforce a rule that everyone...
At first, the Dendro Archon was reluctant to explain it in great depth for safety reasons. Later, she came to terms with it, and simply informed my master that we would all have to face the question of survival. To protect someone from such dangers means keeping them in the dark. But for someone to know and embody the wisdom within, they must understand its very essence. It's an information hazard. We're exposed to danger just by knowing the facts. And just like bait, It lures us in by offering us the solution to a tricky problem. But today, this big problem has been broken down into many smaller, more trivial ones.
What do you mean? Ah, I get it. For instance, you and I share secret knowledge, while she and I take on the risks of life, death, and fate. Something like that? Hey, what? That is not what I call a trivial... Well, as they often say in Bahumana, an event that is monumental to the individual is negligible in the grand scheme of history. Generally, the fate of the individual is an insignificant affair.
Being from Amorta, where the subject of our research tends to be a lot more personal, I have to disagree. It's hard to dismiss the individual as insignificant.
In other words, the big problem of survival has been broken down into many small, interconnected facts.
When the same secret is shared with a group of people, the same fate binds them together. Most people would find this unimaginable, but to us scholars, this is the path that has always beckoned to us.
Sharing knowledge is a good way to fight against fate. I will always believe in that.
เมื่อกี้ปากฟารุซันไม่ตรงกับบทพูดนะ
All right. I think...
Thanks a lot. But don't go anywhere just yet. I'll still be meeting...
Okay, the materials are ready. We can roast... Alhaitham, how are you...
Most of the information in Aru is written in ancient desert scripts. Some of this is written in a tribal language, while other parts seem to be a variant of...
Oh. Not lost to history, I hope.
Some are. All we can do is infer the meaning based on the rules of related languages. Although, this section actually fills in some of the missing historical record.
After Aru started up, 2 more lines of text appeared here.
Humans may not read what is written by the gods, except by not reading. Victory should not be easy to attain, for it symbolizes divine wisdom. Knowledge must not waver, for it has external borders.
Is this a clue to solving a puzzle? Or is it being symbolic? You can't read it unless you don't read it. Victory is wisdom. Knowledge is confined by board. Wait, I think I've got it. It's a metaphor.
A chessboard.
You were right. The youth of today are skilled at solving...
Have the secrets buried in the desert not been unearthed over the years all the same? Since Aru is a place...
Oh, I've always been against overly cryptic sentences. Don't you get tired?
Ah, it's you 3. Just in time. We've been delving deep into Aru, and now that...
I've heard this was how you'd while away your free hours. You must be quite the experts by now in that case.
It is true. King Deshret's chess games are some of the most well-loved of all his wonderful creations. If you have ever been to Safhe Shatranj, you may well be familiar with the chess pieces you see.
Is this chessboard supposed to be another visualization of the interior?
Naturally. Visitors, everything is ready. Only by completing the challenge on the board in accordance with the rules will...
1 second. It's not...
Dangerous? Why, yes, of course.
I should be the one to go, then.
Sounds like the self-confidence of our present company has rubbed off on you.
Don't be ridiculous. I'm your upperclassman, and that means
I appreciate the sentiment, but a game of chess typically... Besides, I'm sure they won't let things get out of hand. Keeping things relatively safe is in your...
Fair enough. I mean, you guys are controlling the difficulty, so...
Ah, but Bennu said he wanted to put some respect into these whippersnappers.
Thank you. This doesn't seem like ordinary chess. Is the...
No, you must enter the board and pass the trials we have placed there.
Ready?
Let's do it.
The first trial is posed by me.
I don't think this is gonna stop us.
Ah, but the key to this game lies in working together. Otherwise, you will be deemed to have broken the rules.
Looks like it's up to me. Marak, can you open it?
King Deshret's favorite primal construct, living on in suitcase form of all things. Amusing.
Oh, excellent work.
งานหยาบแล้วงานใช้สมองเนี่ย
Now is the time for my trial. Now, don't be nervous. I'll make it nice and easy for you.
Really?
Thanks in advance. We appreciate it.
งานชดปวดหัวงานใช้สมองโอ้โหยังมีต่ออีกเหรอลูก
Ibis King, don't you think this all rather inappropriate? You may as well be handing them victory on a silver
เอา
platter.
มาเอา
Do not expect me to follow your lead.
Ha! Suit yourself.
ปัญหาคือมันสปินไม่ได้ครับ ขอรีเซ็ตก่อน
Ibis King, don't you think this all rather inappropriate? You may as well be handing them victory on a silver platter. Do not expect me to follow your lead.
Ha! Suit yourself.
Strange time to catch up on sleep.
I'm not sleeping, I'm thinking! It's not that simple, you know.
ก็เหมือนกูโดนว่าเฮ้ยแทมว่าวะใจเย็นได้ป่ะพี่แต้มผมก็พยายามอยู่แม่งอะไรคือการที่กูโดน NPC ในเกมว่าวะ
Done.
Finally. But seriously, that was incredible. Standing on the chessboard felt oh, sorry. I'll save my thoughts for later. Thanks to the three of you for help.
We made but a humble contribution.
You lived up to our expectations. Bravo! Our aim.
In addition to the existing functions, I'd like to ask, since Aru's interference shield can cover the entirety of the mausoleum, it should be possible to extend its range even further. Perhaps you can find a way.
So, building upon the existing function.
Imagine for a moment. What would the ideal outcome look like if this function were...
I agree. This is...
Me, oh my! Well, since you ask so very nicely...
Naturally.
Time to go! Let's go find Nahida!
ผมขอเบรกเข้าน้ำแป๊บนึงนะครับเดี๋ยวมานะโอเคครับกลับมาแล้วมาเราต้องไปชายแดนของซูเมรุเนาะเพื่อไปหาตัวของมาวิก้านะครับกับ น้องนา
There you are. Miss Nicole truly is an angel. She shows great wisdom in guiding others, and she has already sent word to Net. She said that while the other members of the Hexen Circle are busy with important work, she is quite free. Oh, yes, Nicole, all right. Always super patient and loves to. She is. Well, time for us to get going. Let's head out.
อยากรู้ว่าฝั่งนัดแลนด์ใครจะมาวิก้าเหรอมั้ง
This should be one of the closest places to Natlan in all of Sumeru. There's the barrier Nicole and Nefer mentioned. It completely cuts this nation off, but why? Why? And if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah.
Good question. I'm wondering the same thing.
That voice.
Hello, traveler. It's been a while.
Hello there.
Hello, Dendro Archon.
Malika, I apologize for asking you to meet at the border. I also apologize for not being able to greet you in person. The form in which you see me now is what Irminsul has been infiltrated by the doctor. We must be on our guard, as he can spy on information in the world from within the tree. Fortunately, there is no record.
My records will be preserved in the Night Kingdom, rather than the ley lines. As long as the Night Kingdom remains disconnected from the ley line cycle, the Doctor has no way of knowing my movements.
Exactly.
So by meeting each other in this way, the meeting essentially never happened. No wonder Paimon didn't come. You were concerned that her activity would be recorded by Irminsul. The Natlanese have heard about the situation in Sumeru. With the borders sealed off, merchants have been forced to stop their shipments. It's pretty serious. And you—
I'd like to address the question you raised at the beginning. I can offer a brief explanation. I don't reach this conclusion gladly, but Irminsul predates the Heavenly Prince. So even when the people of Sumeru became ill because of pollution, it was not a critical issue from the perspective of Irminsul itself. But this time, the Doctor's invasion has directly affected the tree. The Heavenly Principles established a rule that when Irminsul is plunged into grave danger, a portion of power will be reserved to isolate Sumeru. That way, even if Sumeru is destroyed—
We'd certainly need it.
The Heavenly Principles created almost everything that exists in Teyvat today. To them, preserving the existence of the world and its inhabitants takes priority over—
Meaning? Protecting Sumeru?
Yes. My own power may be limited, especially compared to yours. But that doesn't mean that we're just gonna sit around and wait for the end.
Nicole of the Hexen Circle didn't say exactly what this meeting was about. But after hearing everything you've said so far—
That's right. Nahida and I discussed it at length. We both know how
You need the Pyronosis, don't you?
Yes. Originally, I only intended to borrow it, but the situation is—
Why do you sound so nervous?
Surely a Gnosis is pretty important.
I guess, but it's not as if losing it would suddenly render us powerless. But I'm sure you don't need me to tell you that. With all the nations you've traveled to, and all the gods you've met, as far as I'm concerned, a Gnosis is basically an elemental energy enhancer. But I don't usually use it. You know me. I like to think I'm pretty strong without it.
Yeah, โคตรเท่
Yeah.
So you see, you don't need to sweat it. Here, Take the pyronosis.
อ๋อ ผมนึกว่าโนสิตเทพไฟกัปตันได้ไปแล้ว จากการทำข้อตกลงกับโลโนวาที่กัปตันจะไปนั่งแทนมาวิก้าใช่ไหมล่ะ
Uh-huh. Just like that. To tell the truth, I've always toyed with the idea. I know you accompanied Nahida here to try and increase the chance of success. It's a good thing you did, because your involvement is one of the main reasons you've managed to persuade me.
Are you sure about this?
I won't try to quantify it, but trust me. Handing over the Gnosis to Tumaini is far from the craziest idea. Besides, even if you hadn't come here personally, Irminsul doesn't just affect Sumeru. It impacts all of Teyvat. I know all too well how difficult it can be to protect the things you care about. You don't need to tell me the specifics of your plan. Where the Gnosis is involved, the tighter the secrecy.
Marika, my heartfelt thanks go to you and the...
Don't mention it. But now for the hard part.
I have an idea.
อ๋อ ตัวทาวเวลเลอร์ไม่ได้อยู่ในนี่
Incredible.
Just made a lucky guess. This seems to happen quite a lot. Things that apply to everyone else don't seem...
Irminsul usually produces effects based on the records it holds. Since the Traveler is a
Is that right? You really catch.
Whoa! Thank you, Moika. Thank you for trusting us with something...
All right. No need to get so formal. Besides, there's still one problem. You might be able to pass through the barrier, but I don't know about the Gnosis.
I have the pyronosis in my hand. It feels strangely ordinary. I need to think hard about my memories of Pyro. My memories of journeying through Natlan. All those...
The Gnosis disappeared.
I'm fine. The pyronosis disappeared into my body.
Maybe it resonates with you because you've mastered the power of phlogiston. You might not be recorded in the ley lines, but you're still...
Whew.
Please allow me to express my gratitude once again.
Pleasure. Well, I've given you all the help I can.
We won't let you down.
Yeah, we aren't about...
Traveler, Paimon's a teensy bit nervous, but only a teeny tiny... Of course. After all the adventures you've had with the Traveler...
I'm doing all right.
With the negative effects of Irminsul, I am a bit like a piece of fruit that's been burrowed into by hungry insects and left to rot. But please don't worry. We all know what we're getting into. Stoking the fire inside oneself is certainly one way to live. But knowing when to rely on one's I've been quietly learning little things from everyone. Like plucking tough...
Me too. With the constant traveling...
I think there's someone else here who would share that sentiment.
Don't worry about what I think. I was just...
What are you talking about, hat guy? This is the top floor. No one
Says who? You can fly just like I can. I would have thought it makes sense to you of all people.
I don't know why, but I feel a little...
It shows that you feel comfortable laying down your burdens in our presence. And we feel exactly the same way around you. That's what it means to be friends.
It's finally done. Ugh, but I have a nagging feeling that there's something I've forgotten. Oh, there you are. Okay, fair enough. That was a pointless question. We were—
You must really be exhausted.
Well, it's been a busy day.
When work ends, you clock.
Yeah, we're definitely due a break. Probably a little late to start drinking now, though. Here, this one's for you.
Thanks.
You want a bite to eat? I can grab us something. Or wait, I think there's a stove nearby.
Are you nervous?
A little, yeah.
Because everything that happens next is beyond my individual control. I don't—
What do you mean, cannot influence? You're the one who came up with half of the strategies we ended up using.
There's only so much I can do.
Was it like this last?
You mean with Azar and his accomplices? Yes and no. The situation back then was easier to control.
So the enemy is stronger, but so are we. I still vividly remember the way you interrogated me in the library after the fact. Where were you when Sumeru needed you?
If your memory is so vivid, you might also recall that it was you who came looking for an argument.
I came for a conversation. I didn't know it—
What do I think? I think we're certainly—
It's good having me around to help out.
Absolutely. As a citizen of Sumeru, you—
Certainly feels that way. So, the sky is so clear, and there isn't a whiff of decay or destruction in the air. It's hard to imagine that the
awful things happen all— What you and I have done is increase our chances of stopping this one.
lofty ideals may provide no defense at all against nihilism. Oh, nothing. I hope everything works out tomorrow.
It will. As long as we stick to the plan.
It's really strange. You're my
I think it's mostly
Ugh.
ต้องทำอะไรบ้างอะตรงนี้
We'll make our move.
Good. Is it
as much as possible?
That'll be enough. Don't let the pressure get—
Master Tainari! Mr. Sino! I brought some juice and—
I know how easily you get dehydrated in the desert, so you should
I gotta ask, though. Who's on juice?
Madame Farazan said she was feeling a little nervous, so I told her about the automatic juicer my friend invented.
A juicer? Did Sucrose send that to you?
Yeah. I hadn't had the chance to try it out before this incident occurred.
The juice is very sweet.
I think so too.
Kale, how are you feeling?
Physically, I'm okay. It just still feels strange to me.
I know the feeling well.
At least now.
All the more reason that you should apply for Spontamod. Tainari
Those two things are completely unrelated.
ชอบถามรุ่นน้อง
What are y'all chatting about, Would anyone like any juice? I had some earlier, ma'am. Maybe give the extra to some— Very well, very well.
There's this enormous power, and then there's little old you. You feel like the—
Yeah. But after all this time,
Kale, just because we normally keep the conversation light doesn't mean we can't discuss deeper issues. I don't think it's childish at all. You were the victim of a terrible crime. It's normal to struggle with the fallout from it. You have absolutely nothing to be ashamed of.
My professor once told me that no incident can be considered truly your rage and your pain.
Thanks. Miss Nicole said that. The same god remains which were once used to inflict so much pain upon every innocent person who's been hurt needs time to realize that it wasn't their fault. But it's all about to be over. Tomorrow—
I don't know if you've noticed.
And since this isn't over, you can—
Yeah. Sumeru is my home.
And once you're done, how—
Stop it with the sales.
Hey, excuse me. There are still 3 unclaimed cups of juice here. Why don't you take one?
Thank you, Madame Farazan.
Drink up and enjoy my handiwork. I think I'm going to make something else now instead. Please, try to relax. I know.
คือผมแค่อยากไปต่อพอยต์ต่อไปทีอ่ะผมรู้สึกว่าตรงนี้มันก็ดีแต่เรามีเวลาจำกัดด้วยแหละครับ
Let's meet the others at the mausoleum of King Deshret.
I have not felt this way. Standing up high, gazing out at the rolling dunes. One cannot know what freedom truly.
The golden slumber truly lives up to its name as a dreamland. Though desert sands exist.
Dendro Archon, what is on your mind?
I was wondering.
What kind of questions?
So many. More, as I once said to a friend. We look, we see, and we comprehend. What are the many disasters that this world faces? But
the biggest question you should be asking is how to seize victory.
Yes. Although, I must not fail. And so the question I am most...
What we declare to be a young sapling, we may, in fact, find to be a towering tree. If we would only cast aside...
Nahida! We're here! Just in time. The preparations are up.
Ready when you are.
We're here too.
Miss Nicole! Miss Nicole! You run so...
I thought I'd get a lot of exercise as a...
Sorry, I got a little...
Lesser Lord Kusanali, the equipment is ready, and the modifications to our...
As discussed during our meeting...
Accessing Irminsul via the Akasha is no longer feasible at this stage. There are other options, it's just... they're a little more extreme, and more technologically demanding to implement. Maybe you should take it from here.
The architecture and functionality of the Akasha terminals overlap considerably with Aru. There is reasonable evidence to suggest that one was as long as the transplant and merge operation succeeds, Aru should theoretically work on a scale greater than the Akasha and approximately equal to Irminsul. It will become the largest active computing A system this powerful is capable of a lot of different things. In the past, the Akasha was primarily used for one-way information transmission, but I suspect it could also serve as a central bridging in the pursuit of greater knowledge. Some scholars have attempted to connect their consciousness to Irminsul through the use of terminals, incense, and meditation.
Correct. In academic language, scholars who reach that stage are said to have entered Satyavada life. Hypatia has performed this practice many times in the past, and she was once under my care for...
Right. And this at least proves that there is a zone within Irminsul that can be connected to.
That's right. Providing wisdom to the people is one of the very reasons for Irminsul's existence.
In that case, I'll skip to the conclusion then. We need to further modify Aru, merge it with the Akasha, manufacture terminals, and distribute them to every single...
Every person?
Yes. Every...
I've already calculated the amount of raw material...
So you mean we're going to get new Akasha
Yes. But this time, the people of Sumeru won't be using them to acquire knowledge, just to connect to Irminsul.
When we evacuated this, we've checked all the relevant records, and one thing is certain. Nothing like this has ever been done on this scale.
Everyone in Sumeru is part of the plan. Whoever controls the people,
Since this function of Irminsul was introduced, it is but by expanding the scale to include all the people of Sumeru, under normal circumstances, Irminsul would be able to cope with it. Thus, it might be possible. Counting down. 3, 2, 1.
Are you ready?
Ready!
people sought knowledge, they turned to the Tree of Wisdom. Today, we use it to save Sumeru and the whole world. These boughs that nurtured learning must not become tools for destroying the world.
Stop. Please stop. End this transformation.
You would shut down Irminsul just to stop me? You fools. I have all the time in the world.
มึง ไอ้หมอ
Success! The evil Irminsul tree is step growing!
Great.
What a display of true courage! The courage to think and the courage to act! I never...
Indeed, only humans could do such a thing. Gods are few and far between.
What was once created for spreading knowledge is now used for another purpose.
I am grateful to you three for your help. Oh, now, nobody who wears a terminal will have their activity accurately tracked by Irminsul. Now for the next step, I will need the help of your supreme powers once again.
How might we be of service, Lord of Dendro?
I need to reach the Eternal Oasis immediately. Right now?
In that case, Ibis King, would you agree that this is a fine opportunity to dust...
Never. I assume you have that chess set with you?
You mean the one you gave to me as a gift?
How could I? You misjudge me. I just wanted to show you another way you can use it. Connect to Safei Shatranj.
Safei Shatranj? You mean that place in the...
Thoth's chess set gains its power from the chessboard laid out in the desert by King Deshret and ourselves. All ceremonies conducted using the chess set must... In other words, the chess set is an extension of the chessboard. In the past, moving a chess piece was a sacred and momentous act.
Transfer initiated. Entering live combat mode.
We haven't heard a single word from our spy in the desert. I'm afraid he...
Never mind.
But we spent years turning him.
Nothing comes for free in this world, but the loss is not without its purpose. For a small price, we have wasted a precious amount of the limited time they have. Quite a bargain, if you ask me.
Understood.
Weighing profit against loss is a necessary part of life. But to tell the truth, I have been operating at a loss since this all began. Since many centuries ago. For instance, why would a banker act as the executor of a will? If you hadn't deposited your personal belongings at Northland Bank, I would have no reason to be here right now.
Pantalone The Regulator อันดับ 9
Dottore, I've placed your final data backup into the ley lines as per our contract. I trust we are now square for the safe deposit fees you paid.
Is it not a little petty to split hairs like this?
I consider sound bookkeeping a matter of principle.
Do not forget that you only live to see this day thanks to me. In fact, every day of your life since you met me, you've been living on borrowed time.
Why, that's hardly a fair assessment. I will concede that my survival was perhaps at your whim, but I became a harbinger on my own merits. Managing money is not like other professions. Mine is not a role I could have acquired based on your recommendation alone, and certainly not one I could have lasted so long in without genuine...
The information stored in the ley lines is quite comprehensive. Rest assured, I have not forgotten how well. I presume you have no sense of fragmentation while talking with me.
How could anything possibly go wrong with such strict measures in place? The remainder of your soul was split in two, with one half sent to Nodcry and the other stored in the most secure vault of the Northland Bank. Though I must say, your disdain for the other segments is quite amusing. Zandik is you, and you are Zandik. Zandik created the segments, yet you, a segment yourself, reject him.
That is, Zandik, created segments of various ages in his later years. To achieve this, he had to freeze time and part with a portion of his soul. But as constructive as it sounds, it erases my uniqueness. If each segment is equally me, then by the same token, none of them are a soul living forever in the past, inevitably holds different views than he did in his later years. The same thing that completes me also restricts me. You too might ask yourself which stage of your life you want to be preserved at. The day your business failed? Or the day you were framed by a gang and sold off to a medical lab as a test subject?
We needn't dredge up the past.
This undesirable plan was eventually scrapped. Lesser Lord Kusanali was quite right, and after that, I concluded that there was no more effective plan than directly splitting the soul. Once the soul is transferred out, you will find that creating a physical body is far simpler than...
The other half of your soul suffered a crushing defeat in Nod...
And yet in the process, I obtained the information I always wanted, did I not? Because
I once thought your ultimate goal was to ascend to godhood. But as it turns out, that was merely one of your experiments.
Experiments take many forms. Most people are too eager for success, too fixated on the end goal. A suspiciously vacant seat, a new face. I trust you can put two and two together. The reason it doesn't exist is because someone tampered with the...
What can I say? After all your efforts, you really did uncover the world's secrets. So, is the new world you promised a lie?
No, it never was. I am glad to be able to control Irmin's soul from within. Now I shall attempt to create a new world inside the Almost everyone faces the prospect of death, but not a single person has ever been able to experiment unrestrained in the... I am the only one to have overcome this enormous challenge. Would I not be letting the world...
Clearly, the dividing of your soul did not affect the magnitude of your ego. Out of all the versions of you that have ever existed, this you is the most...
Is that why you chose to work with me? Which was it then? My insanity.
Could I call myself a venture capitalist without a suitably ambitious plan to invest in? Yours happened to fit the bill.
Well then, I must say, while I am surprised enough that you showed up at all, what surprises me more is that you chose to present yourself as my former subordinate, and not as the banker Pantalone.
Why make things harder than they need to be? Exposing my true identity in a situation like this would only serve to destroy diplomatic relations between Snezhnaya and Sumeru. I daren't imagine showing up in the name of the original antagonist gives you the recognition you rightly deserve, while also being sensitive to Snezhnaya's predicament. It was. As for why I'm here, if you're suggesting that your credit is in the negative, I won't argue with that. Many people say that about you.
I'd argue that a significant factor in your willingness to cooperate is the fact that you have but a few years of life left after my death. Living and dying together has a way of binding two parties together rather closely. Is it not true that a relationship should be judged by both the positive?
So some of what I said actually made it into your head after all. It's true that I hope you don't die too soon, but especially for a human being.
Let's not pretend that you're any more innocent than I am. Are we not the same in this regard? We both despise the existing laws of this world, and neither of us enjoy.
Is it really so greedy to want the world to operate by a new set of rules?
Of course not, my dear friend. And as I've said before, mutual interest is the foundation for the most reliable of relationships.
I just hope there never comes a day when I have to work too hard to prove that.
Regrader, sir. People have been spotted approaching
How strange. Despite your access to Irminsol's data, it appears the soldiers noticed before you did. Well, Dottore.
They're coming. They'll breach the...
But even so, I would say Irminsol is a wonderfully convenient thing on the whole. If you do manage to create a new world, perhaps you...
I'll consider it.
What do you need me to do? Stall them?
The experiment will take time. Stall them for as...
Very well. But you're really asking... Have you heard this story? There was once a guilty man, kneeling in the center of a church while an angry mob outside waited. He pleaded with the gods, begging them to grant him one final request. The chance to finish confessing. Many suns and moons passed. Seasons changed. And still, his confession continued.
Are you suggesting I worship you as a god? Or were you hoping that I might confess my sins to you?
Certainly not the latter. That would make my life miserable indeed. Isn't it a little too early to be saying goodbye? Not that I wish to keep you from your business, of course. Very well. Let's leave the conversation there for now.
ไอเซนนี่มันเท่จริงๆ
The power of King Deshret's 7 pillars is truly remarkable.
Yeah, sets us up for a much easier fight. Really makes my day. The last...
I wonder how many people can say they stormed a city twice in their lifetime.
I was just thinking that. I've definitely had more than my fair share of unusual experiences in my life.
เดาจากคำพูดคำจามีแว่นสายตายาวแน่นอน แก่มาก แก่จริง
This is my first time here, actually. We never usually leave Gandharvaville.
ราณายายผู้หญิงคนนี้แหละครับที่ทำให้เราติดอยู่ในซูมิรุเป็นเวลานานกับเควสอารานาของนาง
I hope this will be my last time.
Does everyone have to chime in? Can't we just...
What an amusing comment, my dear lady.
เมนูก็มาเหรอ
Yet humans often alleviate tension via small talk, do they not?
Wow! Why is...
Because the image on her shield is one of me. And I, of course, can appear wherever I wish to.
เดี๋ยวเมนูมันเป็นเทพไอ้นี่ไม่ใช่เหรอ
Well, la-dee-da. Isn't that...
You wish for your gauntlet to speak?
Ahem. I think you'll find that it is I
Oh.
whose image is carved hereupon.
Thanks. Definitely feel stronger now.
You're welcome, my lady. I am glad to lend you my
Sino, what's the situation?
There are troops stationed at every entrance. As we expected. Everyone, stick to the plan. We'll take the main entrance. Move out.
ไซโบเป็นคนนำโอ้โหให้ผมเล่นทีมที่ผมจัดได้ไหม คือทีมพวกนี้มัน
Out of my way! Take this! Watch out! Get lost! Whew. Thank you, Jet.
You gotta be more careful. If you're not ready to put your life on the line, you can't be certain of defeating your opponent.
She's right. Keep your wits about you, Rana.
เอ้าเอ็งไม่ตายเหรอ
Do your work!
Take them out and secure the harbor. Reinforcements will arrive by water.
Consider it done.
Show no mercy.
Your penance is due!
Do your work. We shall prevail.
It's not.
ไซโบจะตายแล้วผิดทาง
Looks like we're
Change of plan.
nowhere to run!
You asked for it. Hear my prayer.
Judgment is upon you.
Save yourself.
Guilty! You stand condemned! Waterway secured.
brothers, sisters.
เอ้ยท่ายืนเดียยาโคตรเท่เลย
Perfect. Just in time.
Welcome. Once we've linked up,
The team has arrived at the north entrance.
That's good.
กลายเป็นเดย่าเป็นตัวแบกดาเมจเลยรอบนี้
Here to play. Let's get it on.
Surrender!
You're dead meat.
Nowhere to run!
Buckle up.
Through me, justice is served! Guilty!
Did it take too long?
Your penance is due!
Look out!
Finally. We need to hurry. Take the middle road now.
Mahamacha Sino, area clear.
Don't relax just yet. More Fatui approaching from the right.
Irminsul cannot track our movements. If necessary, we could split up.
Don't worry. We'll wipe them all out.
As you can see, our people came raring to go.
Good, good.
How are things with the Traveler? Can Tainari keep...
Don't underestimate Tainari just because he's a forest watcher. He can...
All right. You know that's not what I'm...
Sino and the reinforcements have drawn the Fatui's fire away. It's our turn. By using a cluster leaf of cultivation, we can pass through certain terrains.
Good luck with that. We'll just fly up there.
Huh? Oh, yeah.
Ready?
Ready.
Yeah.
ในเวลาลูกสาวผมลุยแล้ว
Keep up.
Oh.
Bow your head.
So quiet.
Fatui soul.
Careful.
Prepare for battle.
Hey, there's people over there.
You have some nerve showing your faces.
You're right on schedule.
Well, this guy sure.
They've stationed quite a few people nearby. It definitely looks like they were waiting for us. Everything about this guy feels too deliberate. I highly doubt he's just a subordinate of Dottores. And he's no mere sergeant. So you've been waiting for us. But it looks like you're
Very clever, General Mahamatra Sino. I know you're the one in charge of this siege, and I look...
A siege? Sumeru City belongs to...
Historically, yes. But things can always change.
There's a Fatui ambush at the north gate.
Can you handle him?
We can for now.
Yes, I'm quite sure both sides can hold their ground for the time being. The battle has not yet reached it. But what happens next? Do you enjoy watching... Once a war begins, some people must die.
Wait a second. It's a trick. He's not even there. Silence!
He disappeared. What was that? A ghost?
Curses! He was never there to begin with. That was just a shadow.
Enough talk. Attack!
I apologize for being unable to accompany you at this crucial moment, but Sumeru's General Mahamatra is quite ruthless. It's a good thing I wasn't there in person.
Your illusion held them up for a time just fine. But now that they have seen through it, they will realize you...
Decoy or not, what matters now is that they will be heading your way imminently.
Sino แม่งเซนส์ดีจัดเลยนะ
Not imminently. They are...
ไก่ที่กูย่างมา ได้ใช้แล้ว400 กว่าจาน
This is far enough. Tainari, you go help
Are you sure you don't need me to stand?
No need. Once the connection is established, we'll disappear from the sanctuary of Surasthana. Go.
All right. Goodbye for now, then.
Now where's the interface Nahida mentioned? Come on, where's it hiding?
Found it. It's over here. We can connect to the inside of Irminsul through the sanctuary of Surasthana. You should be pretty familiar with...
Is it the same route as last time?
For the most part. We don't need.
Then I should be fine.
And Paimon? Once you're both ready, we'll set off.
Wait! The stakes are way higher this time, right? Maybe Paimon should... Huh? Why are you staring at me like that?
It's nothing.
Hey, you've grown quite a lot yourself. Don't you two start...
Well, anyway, Paimon thinks she's pretty knowledgeable.
If we say Alhaitham's not a weirdo, it's hard to explain how he came up with the idea of you applying to the academia. But for all that he counts, you're doing
She just goes to show how important it is to have someone supporting you. And...
That's fair. I have learned a lot in Sumeru. Oh yeah. Did you ever come up with that ugly nickname you...
What? No way! We're friends now! Paimon gave up on
Fine.
We need to go. Paimon, if you're staying...
Will do. Paimon's gonna link up with Tainari and Sino. You guys are the ones who need to be careful.
We will be.
Initiating connection.
เราจะได้เลือกทีมไหมถ้าจะสู้กับไอหมอเนี่ยโอเคเข้ามาในเมซูแล้วดูทรงแล้วไม่น่า
Well, come to think of it, I still don't even know where we're going.
Thanks to our terminals, it should be...
Don't tell me. Only you need to know. That way, whatever happens to me...
Listen to me. You're sick. Don't even think about sacrificing yourself for the greater...
All right, if you insist.
This place looks so different from how I remember. It's a complete mess. Like someone's turned the...
Must be Dottoro's doing. Either he's searching for some info...
It's still changed.
He has to know we've entered Irminsul. But luckily for us, be on your guard. The red parts have probably been corrupted by Dottoro's power. Don't touch them, or you might alert him. He's looking for us. Tread carefully. That wall could be a problem. Fortunately, it looks breakable. Give it a shot. Squall Fury.
เฮ้ยโลภไปไม่ถึงจ้าปีนไม่ได้ด้วยเรียบร้อย
The wind rises.
มองไม่เห็นอะมันมีโอเคมี3โอเค
The same old trick again? Are you kidding me? Let's handle it just like we did before. This cheap trick isn't gonna stop us. Squall Fury.
Oh no! It's...
A trap. Is that why he was using the same trick over and over again? To get us to lower our guard?
I'm trapped!
Why won't this thing budge?
Hello?
Nicole?
Yes, it's me. I'm monitoring your progress from inside the Eternal Oasis, and I have to say, I couldn't see anything at first. But now that you two are inside, I can use your location with support from the terminals. It's not the clearest image, but I can't intervene directly, but I can help to guide you out. Dottore in his current form is a blight upon both Irminsul and the ley lines. Pay attention to your surroundings. There must be sources of his Is that one of them? Precisely. Good work. But we're not done yet. Stay close. And let's see if we can find any others like it nearby.
Quit following me. The wind rises.
This must be another one.
Agreed. Now... Wait! Watch out!
It's Dottore.
The seal is broken. Quick! Get out of there!
Quit following me.
And where exactly do you think you can run to?
Wait! What is that?
Pursuers! That's gotta be it!
Run! Don't let that thing touch you.
Dodge that attack!
โอ้แป๊บซี่แมนจากแก่จัด
There's more than one path. Which way do we go?
To the left. Trust me.
Fleeing like vermin. What a pathetic sight.
Hey!
Watch yourselves. Stay focused.
There's a cliff ahead. Jump!
More of those corruption sources. Destroy them as you did before, and open the exit as quickly as possible. They're relentless. Is he trying to wear us down? You'll just have to destroy these too. I think the pursuit is over.
Hard to say. Stay alert.
นี่ใช่ไหม last stage ขอละผมขอทีมที่จะจัดเองได้ไหมถ้าจะสู้กับไอหมอเนี่ย
I think we've made it.
You doing okay?
I'll be fine. Don't worry.
Take a short rest.
Nicole?
The connection's been cut. But that means...
Look at you supporting one another. How very...
Dottore!
Took you long enough to find us. You're more...
Oh, really? I think I deserve a little more credit for my methods than that. Rather than hunting you down, I chose to let you roam free.
ปรมัตถ์แห่งวิถีนอกรีด
I indulged your presumption that I was unable to track your movements. Fleeing is for animals, but I rather enjoy watching you flee.
If that's true, then why did you...
Because I wanted to observe you. Don't misunderstand me. I'm not here for a fight. Is it so unusual that I wish to greet my old... After all, it's been a while. Scaramouche. Why are you so afraid? I have done nothing unprecedented in discovering the truth. You made a bold series of moves in deciding to erase yourself. And with the power of this great chronicling device called Irminsul, once most people form an opinion about someone, it tends to imprison their mind. Yet you managed to erase every trace. However, this meant that you stood out to me all the more when I saw you in Nodcry. I didn't even have to go looking for you. Just the sight of you was enough for me to intuit. For someone in my position, connecting the dots was a trivial affair.
You seem very pleased with yourself for figuring it out. I'm sure you'd even...
That would hardly be necessary. Besides, isn't there something that concerns you more, right? Let me put your mind at ease. I have no intention whatsoever of restoring any of the records you deleted. I doubt that the prospect of losing your current life is all that frightening to you. Because the cruelest twist of fate is that you'll never again have the chance to make up for any of your mistakes.
To talk.
จะได้สู้ยัง
All here shall bend to my will.
That's far enough. Squall and fury.
Behold! I'm afraid you'll need to do better than that to take me down. I expected you to have grown stronger. Ah, how foolish of me. I forgot that you lack any means to increase your power.
You will pay for everything you've done.
Oh, will I now?
Wedge it, vermin!
Scorch and burn!
The wind rises. Search forth.
Does the prospect of death amuse you?
I could ask you the same question! I'll distract Torre. You focus on the mission.
Got it.
For the hopes and dreams of the masses.
Yeah.
Open the secret door on this enchanting night. May wisdom's light eradicate ignorance and darkness, and hereby fulfill our ancient vow. Commence data extraction.
Cling to outdated ideals and stand in the way of progress. You will pay for interfering with the grandest experiment of all time.
Good timing.
Dottore, as clever as you are, you fail to understand wisdom. Wisdom takes many forms, but the path you have chosen eschews them all.
Huh.
ไอ้เคียนี่ก็ยังเบียวสามจันทาอยู่นะ ชุดมันก็ยังไม่พ้น
My strength is fading.
Since you are within Ermin's soul, it stands to reason that any power you wield comes from it.
You're extracting the information from Ermin's soul just to strip me of my power.
I will find his weakness.
The wind rises.
Admire your attempt to introduce a new variable, but it's nowhere near enough.
Like a
fury.
You dare to gaze upon me?
The Temple of Wisdom!
All before you! Blade of the primal blade!
The wind rises.
You won't distract.
They're so close. Just hold on a little longer. I'll hold him up. Traveler, Hat Guy, the rest is up to you.
We certainly have a knack for surprising each other, don't we?
I'm just getting started.
Just like a...
It's time.
Say your prayers.
The enemy senses, but watch your back. It's time.
Say your prayers. You're dead. Upon the gale.
Time to ignite.
Burn all before you!
That's far enough.
It's time.
Say your prayers.
เอาไอ้เหี้ยหมอนี่
Squall and fury. Search for it.
Let's try this!
Say your prayers. Finally, time for you to die. Excited?
Time for me to die? How could I imagine this place if death was something I feared?
The last gasp struggle of a Say your prayers.
That's enough!
It's all yours. Do with it as you see fit.
Just as you say, this world is home to some archaic things. And as you suppose, you are a formidable opponent. You have long coveted the secrets of wisdom. So now, I will demonstrate true wisdom in action. I invoke my supreme authority as the keeper of Irminsul. Commend me or condemn me. But give your verdict now!
อย่าบอกนะว่ายังสู้ต่อ
Blessed one of wisdom, Mahakusaladhama, are you certain that you wish to exercise your authority to destroy Irminsul? It represents both your roots and your finest accomplishments. You truly intend to abandon the very thing.
This is my decision.
Irminsul is the original tree of Teyvat. It is the mean.
It is precisely because I honor and revere it that wisdom is knowing how to weigh the options and make...
Planting a seed begins the chain of cause and effect. Since you have become a great tree yourself, tell me...
The first flame. The pure, cleansing fire.
สรุปตายจริงเหรอดอทเล่เนี่ยไอเซน
Shall we?
Where were we?
I was suggesting that you needn't perform when signing a contract.
You're only sitting here because your bank demanded an evaluation of the trustee.
So you told a story about a young scholar from a merchant family in Sumeru?
I told a compelling tale, didn't I?
The post-expulsion story is far more captivating.
The human experiments or the elixir of immortality?
The part where you die.
Ah, yes. My favorite part. The 35-year-old segment thought of himself as Dottore, reserving the name Zandik for the original specimen. Of all the segments, he was the most selfish. After his expulsion, Dottore searched for a new direction. He joined the Fatui, studied Elazar in great depth, secured resources. He was rather fortunate in his career. Zandik turned to Conrian technology and successfully created his segments. But this was not immortality. Even with backup segments, his body would still age. Still, thanks to Snezhnaya, Zandik found the ideal base for his experiments. Then a perfect partnership materialized at a crucial moment. The year that both parties realized they needed more time. Fortunately, Zandik succeeded. In a miraculous turn of events, he gained the extra time he needed.
I seem to recall it differently.
All right, it's true. No matter how much elixir he took, Zandik remained human and continued to age. Then, on the morning he turned 85...
Help me up! Call for help!
Surely he would be rescued, Zandik thought. But to his surprise, no one helped him. Zandik was too selfish for that.
Don't forget, you're one of us.
Yes, and we're all waiting.
Waiting for me to die.
Pantalone arrived for a meeting and happened to witness what followed. He found it unsettling.
I never said that.
But the Zandiks were unfazed. It was a rare opportunity for self-dissection.
What does all that have to do with you depositing your data at Northland Bank?
It has made me cherish my time in this world all the more.
Fair enough. So you do have a sense of self-preservation.
What do you mean?
You're hardly normal, and you don't cherish life. You just don't want to admit defeat in the limited time you have.
Even so, don't I deserve an interesting ending?
I'm counting on it.
If nothing else, I expect my funeral will be a grand affair indeed.
ทำไปเล่นไปตอนหนุ่มๆมันรออยู่นะลอสเล่เนี่ยรู้แหละครับว่าเฮียแต่ก็เสียดายหน่อยๆแต่มันก็คงฟอกขาวไม่ได้หรอก
In Snezhnaya, we light fires to ward off the cold. Fire, it seems, is antithetical to ideas such as cold, frozen, and unchanging.
เดี๋ยวผมขอเบรกเข้าน้ำแป๊บนึงนะครับเดี๋ยวมานะ
Perhaps it has always been that way. From the beginning, fire has been used to drive away wild beasts and warm the body and mind. You could say it's a form of treatment.
กลับมาแล้วกลับมาแล้ว
One that cures the human heart of mortal fear.
Mortal fear?
Whereas you, I'm sure, must know the feeling quite well indeed. I remember when we first discussed the... You fear the prospect of dying a wretched end in this world.
Of course I do. I'm only... And while you may have forgotten it, you cannot deny that you too were once human, Dottore. I do not believe that there...
Perhaps you are right. But I abandoned it long ago and devoted my...
From the very beginning, I never thought you could win this game.
But still you came, contract in hand, to honor our agreement.
Because I am a reputable partner.
And as we have discussed, experiments are about more than results alone. The process is equally important. I have come here and
I'm afraid your journey...
After I die, there will be no one to make the elixir of immortality, and your remaining stock will only last a few more years. How then will you prove that you didn't...
When I feel optimistic about market environments, I never forcibly adjust them. They have their own direction. I have been quite particular about many things in my life. But where...
You make yourself sound so magnanimous.
Oh, but I am. And I hope you will be too. It may have been a long time since anyone told you this, Dottore, but I recognize that you are a truly...
Ha! I can see it. The experiment in blasphemy that I've been performing all this time.
สวัสดีครับคุณร้อยอสูร
It has been a long process.
Devil
And I do
May
not
Cry
care
รู้จัก
about
ไหม
the results
รู้
as
จัก
much
ครับ
as people might imagine.
เคยเล่น3 4 5แล้วก็3 4 5แล้วก็ไอ้ภาคที่เป็น DMC Devil May Cry เฉยๆร่างดันเต้ดูดยาก็เล่นครับ
If the very goal of your experiment was to explore infinite possibilities, then there was never any reason for it to end.
Indeed. Yet now, the experiment has officially drawn to a close.
What should I call you? Zondik? Or do you prefer to talk?
Suit yourself. Goodbye, Feofan. This time, that's what it truly is.
อ๋อ
And don't I know it? Goodbye, Zondik.
Regulator ก็คือเปียฟานชื่อของมัน ผมซื้อ DMC 5 ไปเมื่อวาน แล้วก็เพิ่งซื้อ DMC 4 ในวันนี้ในสตรีมขายอยู่ 5 เหรียญ เลยถามว่าพี่ชอบภาคไหน ต้องบอกว่าผมเองไม่ใช่เป็นแฟน Devil May Cry นะ แต่ถ้าเอาภาค
I could have
ที่
carried out many more experiments. But to
ถ้า
me,
ผม
Lord of
enjoy
Denro,
ผมก็
this
คง
outcome is certainly not the worst.
ผมก็คงให้ภาค 5 มันก็เล่นสนุกของมันอะสำหรับผมนะ ผมก็ชอบภาค 5 นะครับ ภาค 4 ก็ไม่ได้แย่นะ แต่ส่วนตัวผมเฉยๆกับเนื้อเรื่องของเนโร ผมก็เลยแบบชอบ5 มากกว่า เพราะว่าจะพูดยังไงดีคอมแบทด้วยแหละผมชอบคอมแบทในภาค 5 แต่จริงๆอ่ะในซีรีส์ Devil May Cry อ่ะผมมาชอบเล่นตัวเวอร์จิลสุดแล้ว เพราะว่าเวอร์จิลอ่ะมันจะมีอาวุธที่ชื่อเบลวูฟอยู่ อันเนี้ยคือผมชอบสุดแล้วรองลงมาก็คือ Devil May Cry ภาค 3 ครับ มันจะมีอาวุธหนึ่งของดันเต้ที่ชื่อรูด้าแอนอากิตอนนั้นคือโคตรปั่นอะที่เจออะ
I believe you. But unfortunately, this is where it all ends for you. This experiment does not belong.
Experiment. It sounds like...
Wisdom is conveying information in terms that...
Indeed. I can see no further outcome. You have a formidable mind, and you are braver than I thought. Setting fire to the very thing you're surviving...
When necessary, wisdom can be as fierce as an inferno.
Perhaps you are right.
Here is where your journey comes to an end. All that is yet unknown belongs to the...
It seems I have unwittingly been your arch enemy all along.
I do not deny your intelligence. But what you refer to as experiments, they are events that take place in the real goodbye.
ลาก่อนดอโทเร่นะครับโอเคเนื้อเรื่องก็จบกันไปเนาะยังไม่จบเลยต้องไปคุยต่อนะ
Well, that's the last of them. Everyone on the list is already back where they should be.
จะบอกว่าในเดวิลเมคายนะมีอาวุธอีกอาวุธหนึ่งที่ผมชอบก็คือเซอร์บารัสไอที่เป็นกระบอง3ท่อนน่ะที่มาจากไอหมา3หัวอันเนี้ยผมก็ชอบตอนที่มันในภาค3อะเท่อยู่
It was a long, hard road, but I just pray that we'll never need to leave again. I hope we can stay here forever.
Paradise. In the annals of the Temple of...
I wouldn't think gods need such a place.
People always think they're the only ones who can lose their homes. They forget that, as the Goat King once said, a god without his people shall cease to exist.
Only we can truly understand how much the desert faith has faded over the centuries. But
given the myriad ways in which gods and humans interact...
Well, that sounds about right to me. Describing them as friends...
If you told me a few years back that I'd have this many friends...
Belief is a choice, just like friendship.
I'll be heading back to the Temple of Silence. I heard the Goat King and the Ibis King decided to pay us a visit.
It's back to Aru Village for us. Still plenty...
Until next time, old friend. As long...
Right back at you. Make sure to drop by where it is that 2 of the other 7 pillars, Chesapeake and Bennu, might also be dropping by.
Since dropping by? That makes it sound like they're visiting a neighbor's home.
Well, the temple was founded by Hermanubis, so I guess to them.
Guess that's true.
All right.
I will.
See? Retirement has always been a problem, especially for old-timers like us who've been locked away all the...
Naturally. What do you think, Layla?
Huh? How could I possibly be qualified to decide where the servants of King Deshret should live?
Sorry if my question was unclear. Do you think their statues...
Hey, I never agreed to this. How could we possibly allow our statues to be left in Hermanubis' home? That would...
Different beliefs can coexist. We still need to respect one another.
By which you mean, you two plan to stay at the Temple of Silence for a... So...
Family.
You could say that. In a sense, Hermanubis would view this as... Just look at this place. Magnificent, is it not? The sad truth is, in the past, all 3 of us invested so much into misguided ventures. We failed to build what we should have.
And what...
I mean that for the most part, time spent associating with the likes of...
Why does that not surprise me? Go on.
Anyway, given how much time we'll all be spending together...
Once Sethos, the current leader of the Temple of Silence, returns, you can discuss the map, but judging by the expressions of everyone here, I imagine this sacred ground houses untold knowledge after all. What better place for the servants of King Deshret to appear in the mortal world?
อ๋อชอบภาค 4 ภาค 4อ่ะผมอะส่วนตัวนะอันนี้คือส่วนตัวผมไม่ค่อยชอบดาบมอไซค์ของเนโรเท่าไหร่ไอ้ดาบเบิ้ลเครื่องเนี่ยมายันภาค 5ผมก็ยังไม่ชอบ มันอาจจะไม่ได้แย่นะแต่ส่วนตัวผมรู้สึกว่ามันแปลกๆไปหน่อย
How about we share a meal together first? I imagine it's been many years since.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. After so many.
Are we having a get-together? If you'd like, I can help prepare some.
Oh, my, that would be wonderful.
How the times have changed. To the people of today, it seems the ibis.
And you, Mr. Herreshoff? What kind of god do you wish?
To be honest, I haven't given it. Forgive my bluntness, but you do not seem to derive your authority from majesty and might, like Lord Al-Akhmar.
I do, but projecting a majestic front doesn't really suit me.
Not putting on airs might.
Exactly. Besides, I really like parties.
Last time when we got together for a picnic near the Avidia Forest, it was quite the occasion.
Can we do that?
Don't worry, I can help out. Layla.
Me?
The more the merrier. That way we...
Don't take this the wrong way. I just think...
If I were to compete against you, I can't say with certainty I'd win, but I certainly wouldn't mind if...
Where's Sobek? I'm sure he'd be good for a few rounds. Cards, cards, cards! I'll always...
I wonder what variant of chess we're talking here.
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up. As long as the leader of the Temple of Silence agrees, we can search Hermanubis' place for books to teach you how to play.
ยังอ่ะบ้านของไอเทมกับคาเฟ่
Such devastation visited on Sumeru City. Look at all of this. It's going to take me forever to
I would have thought a little appreciation of my sincerity.
Helping? Effort?
So you see yourself as just a helper.
If you're trying to say that since I live here too, I have an obligation to tidy up...
In the wake of a great storm, a missing roof is a predictable...
Can you stop making it seem like I care more about this house than you do? Doesn't it...
I won't pretend it's ideal, but that's no reason to be...
This is the root...
The way I see it,
This is precisely why I hate talking to you about sentimental things. It's like banging my head against a wall.
It sounds like this is causing you a lot of anguish.
You mean the house or the paintings?
I mean your sentimentality.
Oh, well, yes. But I'd rather not dwell on such things right now.
Generally speaking, when anguish becomes the norm, people usually make an...
But there are so many people and things in life that are difficult to... Anguish can...
I'm glad you're able to make yourself think like that.
What kind of a response is that? I was stating a profound truth.
And I wasn't trying to.
Happy about what?
Happy that you can always find an answer that backs up your view.
You...
More often than not, life is a process of running into problems and then searching for it. Not everyone's so good at justifying things to themselves.
Huh.
Pass me that box.
Huh? Okay.
You may consider this my progress on the path to mastery.
Wait a second. Isn't that box mine? Hey, it is. It must have fallen.
Would you like me to put it in your bedroom for you?
Huh? What kind of progress is this? Does he think he can bribe? These books on the floor. They're a complete mess. And this one, didn't he say it was a... guess I should help him repair it.
เหลือใครอีกทิกนารีกับไอ้นี่
Local sumter beasts, imported goods. Such a bright future ahead. I can picture the Mora just rolling in.
You do realize you sound like a choking cow?
It's called being imposing. Can't you feel it? Are you...
Oh, I'm positively shaking in my sandals. What commands do you have for me, oh mighty Lord Sangamabe?
You've got a lot of nerve, Nefer. Seriously, do you have any idea how differently...
Surely that's a good thing. I presume they're more disposed to actually like you now.
You traded my secret for sympathy.
Thanks to you, I've lost every last shred of my mercantile majesty. How am I supposed to make anyone think I'm a big, scary investor now?
The dark days of Lord Sangamabe are behind you. What?
Speaking of friends, since when did the notorious Lady Nefer gain such an admiration for holier-than-thou type?
A coming together of fates, nothing more.
Forget it. You're right about one thing at least. Making friends is never... Still... I really took a loss this time.
I'm trying to see if you're really... A little birdie told me that when Lord Sangamabe makes money, the tears flow from the center of her eyes. But when she loses it, they flow from the corners.
You are so annoying. I'm not talking to you anymore.
Nefer! Thank goodness you're here. I've been looking everywhere.
Huh? Well. If it isn't the House of Dana's
Oh, no. I'm not here to buy. I'm here to bring Lady Nefer a book, and a fascinating one at that. We agreed to meet at the entrance.
Reasoning knows not time of day, but suspense always...
Huh? Isn't that the one that...
It was all the rage for a while. People throughout the city were clamoring to get their hands on a copy. The names inside were all circled.
Don't bring up that book in my presence.
Surprisingly enough, I've actually heard of this book. Though it doesn't seem of my...
You're from Mavahumana and you're asking me what the truth is? I'd say the actual truth. I brought you this book because it probably has the most interesting backstory.
Don't tell me it's actually...
You may not know this, Lord Sangamabe, but Lady Nefer has
no eye for good literature.
Perhaps she feels that bad books hide interesting secrets? But I shouldn't put words in her mouth. It's probably fair to say.
Suits my style as an intel broke. Very interesting, thank you. And as it happens, I have something...
Incense?
I imagine you've already used up the incense I gave you last time. Here's some more. This batch is from Nodcry, so the scent won't be quite the same.
Well, actually, I've been safe, but I'll gladly accept this too.
Katayun, you haven't...
เดี๋ยวคู่ไหนครับน่าจะคู่ปาลูซันอ๋อไม่ใช่
Congratulations.
Well done, Kale.
Sure hasn't been easy for you, huh?
All grown up. No longer a trainee, but
Thanks, everyone. It's true. Master Tainari, thank you for your guidance and support.
Sino had a matter to attend to at the Temple of Silence.
I'm afraid the party...
Kale?
No. It's not what you... I've made plans with the Traveler and Paimon the...
Well, that's a relief. Let's get to...
Of course.
โอเคผมว่าเนื้อเรื่องเนี่ยมันจบไปแล้วเดี๋ยวผมขอพอแค่นี้ก่อนดีกว่าเนาะ
After all that catching up on sleep and food,
ให้มันจบตรงนี้ก่อนแล้ว
For someone who spends so much time...
Hey! Paimon's been working her...
Don't worry.
Alright. Paimon's been looking around the place and...
โอเคเดี๋ยวพอแค่นี้ก่อนดีกว่าเนาะขอบคุณทุกคนที่เข้ามาดูเหมือนเดิมนะครับถ้าเกิดมีคำหยาบคายตรงไหนในระหว่างตอนไลฟ์เนี่ยขออภัยด้วยนะครับสำหรับวันนี้เนี่ยฝันดีนะครับทุกคนเดี๋ยวเจอกันอีกทีไม่วันอาทิตย์ก็วันจันทร์เลยเนาะก็น่าจะกลับมาไลฟ์ตัว Warhammer 40K แล้วแต่ถ้าเกิดผมกลับมาไลฟ์วันอาทิตย์เนี่ยอาจจะไลฟ์ตัว Counter Strike ก่อนนะครับแล้วเดี๋ยววันจันทร์เนี่ยจะไลฟ์ตัว Warhammer นะครับโอเคสำหรับวันนี้ฝันดีครับทุกคนเจอกันอีกทีวันอาทิตย์หรือวันจันทร์นะครับ